The third pillar of meditation is focus, and this is the biggie. This is the one that makes people think that they can't meditate, that it's too hard. They throw in the towel because of a teeny tiny little misconception about meditation. People say to me all the time, I can't blank my mind. Well, duh, you're alive. Even people in comas still have stuff happening in their minds. Meditation is not the act of thinking about nothing at all. It's observing your thoughts from a distance without getting too close or involved with them. Kind of like a peeping Tom. Let me give you some analogies and hopefully one of them will stick and you know exactly what I mean. You're walking down the road and you notice someone super sexy walking towards you, and then they walk past. The moment you turn your head to admire them once they're gone, that is an act of you getting involved with your thoughts rather than just noticing them from a distance like you were doing before. Another, you're hungry. You acknowledge the fact that you're hungry. That's absolutely fine. But the moment you start wondering what you have in the fridge, how long it will take you to prepare your food, then you are actively getting involved in your thoughts. It's okay to smile to yourself because you got a flashback of the fun time you had with your friend last night. You're getting too involved when you then try and recreate the whole scene in your head from start to finish and start to search for other moments in your mental database. So it's a case of not getting too involved. How do you do that? You shift your focus to something else. Because you now know about breathing, you can shift your attention to your breath. Starting off, I used to make my breathing a little louder than my thoughts, particularly when I pushed the breath to my head. That sounds a little mad, and you'll probably imagine me breathing like a pervert or an asthmatic, but that's not strictly what was happening. I just made a conscious effort of making sure I was breathing, like really breathing, and by default, my breathing became louder than my thoughts. Mantras are also really dope. If you pick a word or a phrase, it can be anything like, isn't it great that I meditate, or or I'm calm, centered, and relaxed. There's something about the vibration of words or sounds, whether said out loud or in your head, that interrupt the persistent thoughts that you may be having. Visualization is really cool too. Visualization in meditation is like when you're driving in a car with the kids and you give them the iPad so they can just watch a show and stop nagging you to death about the length of the journey. We are active beings, and these days our minds are overactive. Your mind is constantly looking for something to do, a problem to solve, something to ponder. If you distract it with a task such as visualizing your dream life, or a flame of a candle, or a stroll through a serene forest, it will be satisfied that it has a task to do and leave you alone to get into Zen mode. Absolutely anything can be a point of focus while you're meditating. When I first started, I would count to 10 and then start again. Why this was so good is because if I found myself at 14, 15, 16, I instantly knew I wasn't focusing. I had let my mind drift. I'll be real with you. I have been doing this for years and there are still times that my thoughts want to bully me and take over my meditation practice. There's usually two main reasons this happens. I'm going to talk to you a little more about that later in the course. But for now, all I want you to remember is that in the early stages of your meditation journey, all you need to think about is this. 1, getting into position. 2, breathing. And now 3, focusing on something, anything other than your thoughts. Focus on your breathing, use a mantra, visualize, get lost in the music, whatever feels comfortable in the moment. As time goes on, you should experiment with different things to focus on, and then you'll eventually have so many tools in your arsenal that you can draw for in different situations. Before we move on to the exercise, I just want to say I am proud of you, homie. Like, seriously, you've made it this far. This is a level of commitment that is admirable. People who commit and show up for themselves, their development, their transformation, always have a special place in my heart. There's just something to be said about putting your shoulder to the wheel and pushing on because you're determined to master something worthwhile. And what's more worthwhile than mastering yourself? Okay, enough of the mushy stuff. Let the next track roll.